I'm Ed Pierce from SpaceCoastDaily.com. I'm here with Coach Jeremy Shulman of Brevard Community College Titans basketball team. Coach, what are you looking for from your team this year?
All right, Ed, I'll be honest, I'm incredibly excited about this group. We're very improving. We've got only 3 returnees from the team of a year ago. We won 21 games, had 6 kids sign Division I scholarships last year, had a 7th walk-on at UCF, so we got 7 Division I kids from last year's team, but only 3 returnees. So there's a lot of improving with our team this year, but I could not be more excited. I honestly think this is my best team, not just in my 3 years here, but my 6 years of coaching college basketball, which included a team that went to Hutchinson, Kansas, the national tournament. But we're improving, so it's going to be interesting.
So what are going to be, we know that you got a good team on paper.
Right.
When did you start practicing, and what sort of things have prompted your enthusiasm so far?
Well, as far as practice, that's kind of led us being so far behind. In the preseason, you only get 8 hours of direct contact with your guys. That includes conditioning, weights, in the gym time, and we haven't had our own gym. So we've had, because of redoing the gym, which, by the way, unbelievable. We've got some of the best facilities in the country now. But we would have to go to our Cocoa campus to the YMCA to work out, so we could only get out there 2 days a week. So we're going to be really well conditioned right now. We've been great in the weight room, but only being in the gym for workouts 2 days a week. I think we're a little behind where I want us to be right now. But all that being said, I think the talent level that we've recruited, I think the mentalities, the toughness, the type of kids, the type of competitors we've got, I think we've got the pieces to be really good. Again, we've got a long ways to go. We've got a lot of newcomers, a lot of which have never played college basketball before, so we're learning how to play college basketball. And it's totally different than high school. And those guys are having their ups and downs in this adjustment period, playing college ball for the first time. But the 3 sophomores we've got returning, 2 are all conference, and the third one's being recruited by high major and mid-major plus schools. So we've got a great returning cast. Added a Division I transfer in Luka Pachkovic from Mississippi Valley State, Serbian kid who's just a fantastic player. And took another transfer, Aldor Kola from Chatham State in Nebraska. And those 5 sophomores bring a wealth of experience, bring a lot of talent. So they're leading a lot of young guys, and they've just been invaluable.
Coach, what do you look for when you go to recruit a player?
Well, first thing is talent. It sounds simple, but obviously you've got to get really good players. That's first and foremost. You've got to find someone, and talent is very subjective. I guess the best example I can give is the kid we signed this year, T.J. Dundas, who was our best freshman. I think can be the premier freshman in the entire state of Florida. Could is the key word. But when I watched T.J. had a lot of other schools recruiting him, but a lot of those schools were different varying levels of how excited they were about him. Some liked him a lot. Some just thought he was okay. When I saw TJ, the first thing I thought was, wow, this kid is unbelievably talented. So talent is subjective. I think I've got a pretty decent eye for talent. But that's the first thing, is talent. Second thing, you've got to find a kid that you think is going to be a good kid. I can't take a kid that's not a good kid, what we call a knucklehead, someone that's not going to go to class, someone that's going to act up off the court, etc. Got to have good kids. Third thing, honestly, got to find someone with toughness, whether it's physical or mental toughness. You could have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have the mental toughness to make it at the college level or any high level of athletics, you're not going to be that successful. And the fourth thing would be skill. I think skill is actually, it sounds funny, but skill is very undervalued in basketball these days. You can always find athletic, look like $1 million players, but the ability to shoot the basketball, the ability to pass the basketball, to handle the basketball, those things are very undervalued right now in compromise with athleticism overall. So,
yeah, many years ago, I had the opportunity to interview Earl Weaver, who was a Hall of Fame baseball manager for the Baltimore Orioles. And one of the questions that I asked him was, when he was managing the Orioles for as long as he did, were there any players that played for him that he envisioned as going on to be a manager or a coach? Are there any players that you see on the team this year that have potential to do what you do for a living?
There's a few, but there's one that I've already told the kid he will be working for me at some point in his career and my career. There's no doubt. Point guard we've got named Ben Patrick, 6'3" point guard from Clearwater, Florida. Just a fantastic kid, fantastic player, and just one of the most high IQ, smart players I've ever coached. And he just thinks the game, he sees the game, he's got the mentality look for. There's no doubt he is going to be just a phenomenal coach at some point.
So based on with your schedule, Coach, and everything, you've got recruiting going on, you're getting ready for another year of basketball. How do you find time for? What sort of things do you do to unwind or relax?
Wait, I don't understand the question. I can unwind and relax some during the summer, and I do. I make sure to travel. I make sure to get back to see my family in Tennessee when I can. Once school year starts, it becomes tougher and tougher and tougher to unwind. I try to get back maybe once a month back to Tennessee to see my family in the preseason part. Once October 1st hits, it's all ball. There's not a lot of unwind time and personal time, which is that I love my job. I wouldn't trade for anything.
Now we're so excited. You're so excited about coming into this year with the talent that you have, and the team's ready to explode and blow up. Now, one thing I wanted to ask you is, in your job, you're also seeing everything for the program. What sort of things concern you at this stage going into the season? Are there weaknesses or challenges that you think are, may have to be overcome later in the year?
Yeah, there are. There's a lot right now at this point in the year because we're so early into official practice, which is October 1st. The first thing is, can we get enough of my system in before our first game, before our first big game, before our first conference game, etc.? Can we really grasp our system with so few weeks left? Of course, I'm a coach. I hit the panic button quickly, thinking how few weeks there are, and I'm ready to be ready. I'm ready for finished product right now, which is unrealistic. So the first thing is, can we really grasp all the details it takes to be successful? And we preach attention to detail in every single thing we do. We preach the process, attention to detail in every single thing. And that's one reason I'm such a big fan of Nick Saban at University of Alabama football. I grew up hating Alabama football. I'm a Tennessee football fan, but it's amazing watching the guy coach and his attention to detail in every single thing he does, off the court, on the court, game preparation. And I try to be the same way. So with all the attention to detail and all the little things we still do wrong right now, if those little things don't get corrected, and there's a lot of little things, as you know, that makes up being a great individual player and a great team player. If we don't get enough of those little things corrected, those little things add up and we'll be a mediocre team. So that's the first thing.
Okay, fair enough. Coach, I've lived here in Brevard County for about 21 years. And one thing, and I come from an environment where I grew up where basketball was king. And then I went to a college, University of New Mexico, where basketball was king. What can you do to with an exciting team like this, to get the community out and come into your games? You've got a beautiful new floor here. I've always thought that this was a sleeping giant as far as in terms of the community. So what sort of things can you do in the community to draw more fans to games?
Well, first and foremost, probably take all y'all out to dinner so we can do more interviews like this. But the first and foremost is trying to get our name out in the media. That's first and foremost. And Mark Dakotas, our communications director, has just been absolutely phenomenal in doing this. I mean, Mark has set up the media day today, first time since I've been here, first time I ever even do this in East Mississippi. So media coverage is just absolutely crucial, In addition to that, I try to get out into the community as much as possible. I talk to clubs, I talk to youth groups. I'm trying to get the name out there, and as simple as everywhere I go, I try to let people know. Well, the good thing is I get the question a lot. Oh, you're tall. Do you play basketball? Oh, thanks for asking. No, I don't anymore, but I coach at BCC. We got a fantastic team. You should come out and watch us. So everywhere I go, I try to be a walking billboard for the Brevard program, because it's a great level of basketball that most people in Brevard County don't realize just how great the talent is and how exciting the games are, and how the players that they will see here will end up playing on TV at the next level. And it's really exciting. One of the most exciting things for me is when you have a person who's never been to a game before, they come to a game, they leave that game, they come up to me, shake my hand after the game and say,